What's going on YouTube? Welcome to my channel, Money Moves with Kay. I am Kay, and today we're going to talk about a secret way to find foreclosures online for free, and it's a list of properties. So if you've paid attention to my channel, a couple weeks ago I did a video on how to find a list of foreclosures on Zillow, or how to find foreclosures on Zillow for beginners. This video is kind of a follow-up, but finding different strategies and ways to find foreclosures and different opportunities, okay? So the very first thing I want to mention is if you're interested in a specific county, city, or state, I would advise you, if you want to, of course, I would advise you to book a one-on-one consultation with me. I do not take special requests. For example, I had someone say, please do a video on St. Louis, Missouri. That's a special request. So what I do typically is I do random cities and states and counties to make it fair, just because I'm giving an example. I'm not necessarily focusing on one part of the country or one city, state, or county, okay? So if you want more detailed information from me, make sure you book a one-on-one consultation, link in the description. But for today, I'm picking a random county, so random that I do not know. I know where it's in Texas, but I've never heard of it before. Bexar County, Texas, which from my research is a San Antonio area, San Antonio, Texas. So once you come to this website, and I'm picking a random website, meaning a random county, you can of course do this wherever you are located. So this is bexar.org. This is their county website. And once I get here, under the search engine, I put foreclosure. Now, the reason why I call this a secret way or a secret strategy is because most people do not know that this list exists through the county. What I'm about to show you are mortgage foreclosures. I also know where to get tax foreclosures as well. Those take into account, tax liens, tax deeds, and stuff like that at auction. But these are mortgage foreclosures. Look at this list. Or I love this website though. It's not necessarily a list, but they do have a list. If you click on, I'm not going to click on it, but if you click on one of these, I'll get a little closer though. Here, I'll click on one. Boom. I'll blur out the address, but you can see that the foreclosure type is a mortgage. It tells you the school zone or district, gives an address which I'll mark out, but it also gives a picture of the home. I think that's why I like this website. And of course, I always suggest that you do your due diligence and you go on Google Maps in person if you can. But if you're out of town, out of state, or whatever the case may be, you can go on Google Maps and look at it yourself, Street View, okay? But I like this website meaning I like the county's version of these foreclosures because it is very organized to me. As you can see, if it has an M, that's a mortgage foreclosure. If it has a T, that is a tax foreclosure. What's the difference? A mortgage foreclosure is that traditional foreclosure that happens to folks who are not paying their bills in a timely manner or at all. And the bank says, hey, we have to recoup our possession and recoup our property back. And the tax foreclosure is something similar to tax liens and tax deeds, right? I talk about that a lot on this channel. So I just love how it's organized. So as you can see, this is a lot of properties, okay? A lot of properties. And a lot of times they do go through an auction process as well. Typically, I know this one happens at the county courthouse steps. It gives you when it's going to happen and a lot of information. And you can show up and bid on these properties, okay? I do talk about, in my course, what happens to a mortgage when a property goes to auction, right? What happens to the actual mortgage? Because a lot of these properties may have a mortgage, but what happens when it goes to auction? Does it still exist? Or is it extinguished or gone due to the auction? I discuss that in the course. Make sure you grab that as well. Link in the description or pin comments, all right? So that's Bexar County, Texas, okay? This is another random one, Miami-Dade County. And Miami-Dade County is a pretty extensive, it's a large county in Florida, and it has mortgage foreclosures. But let me go back home to the home page so that I can show you exactly how to get here. So you're going to click in the search engine miamidadeclerk.gov. miamidadeclerk.gov. Once you get here to the main page, it has a lot of county information. What you're going to do is go to home and property. After you go to home and property, you're going to go down here and click mortgage foreclosures. After you go here, you can, I like this website too, because it identifies the list pendants, right? And it also gives the mortgage foreclosure auction. So the list pendants is where they're looking at that process before the property goes to foreclosure, which they also typically, most counties, cities, or states, they list that in the newspaper. It's just a public forum for folks to be informed about what is happening in their community and what properties are up for auction, okay? So list pendants is there, and I did search the list pendants. I didn't put anything specific, which allowed me, let me click it. It allowed me to, so when you come here, you would think that you would need a specific name, which is the hiccup for most people. So if you get here and you quit because you're like, oh, I don't have a name, I just want to look at a list. Let me show you. Don't put anything in there. Just push search, right? And here's a list. I'm not going to go too far down, but you can see there's a list of properties, right? I'm going to go back to our original listing and search mortgage foreclosure auctions. Let's just check it out. Push OK. And I love these. This is Real Auction. Yes, Real Foreclosure, which is under the realm of realauction.com. I've talked about this website before. They do a lot of online auctions for Florida, as well as other cities and states in the country. So it says start here. I like to look at the auction calendar. You can see what's happening in the past. I like to see what's sold, and you have a little calendar to see what's in the future, what is coming up as far as the auction is concerned, okay? And once you click on it, you'll see a list of properties. So you go about it that way. So that's Miami-Dade County, okay? The next county I want to talk about, which is another random county, is Monmouth County, New Jersey. I have no clue where Monmouth County, New Jersey is, or if I'm even saying it correctly, but I tried. I pronounced it like the teacher in me would. I broke it down, okay? So Monmouth County, New Jersey, boom. Now here you can see a list of properties. So this is Civil View. It's called salesweb.civilview.com. And this is a list of properties in New Jersey. Okay. Let me see. I'm not going to scroll down too much because I have to blur out a lot of stuff or addresses I'm really concerned about in the defendant's name because they are in a foreclosure process. Okay. And a lot of times these homes may be redeemed, meaning the homeowner says, I have enough money to get my property back, or let me see. It's rules and regulations depending on where you're located too. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure the rules and regulations for New Jersey, but this is another way to find this information. So you go directly on the Monmouth County, New Jersey county website. Again, you click foreclosure in the search engine and it should pull up this information for you as well. And the last one I wanted to talk about, which is a random search as well, was New Jersey. If I'm not mistaken, this was the Rochester area. I looked at a lot of places in, not New Jersey, New York. Sorry, New York. New York shows a lot of love to the channel too, by the way. So shout out to New York. When I look at my stats, my statistics for my channel, New York is always the top 3 for me who watches my channel. I appreciate the love. I send it back to you through the camera. I appreciate you guys for just supporting the channel and just trying to get this great information so that you can make a move in order to help you and your family and, you know, whomever else you're trying to help. All right. So New York foreclosure listings. This is like a little gem or tip. A lot of times foreclosures will go through the lawyer's office. So this is a law office. Okay. This is a practice in New York, Roach and Lynn PC. Okay. So I'm not going to scroll down. This is actually some future. That's January 2026. You have a ton of information. If you wanted to, you could click the address to these properties and you see the name. You see this is an air property, the very first one in January 2026. Okay. So it's not as user-friendly, to be honest with you. Not as user-friendly as the first one was, which was Bexar County, which has everything here. Just click on a little icon, you get a lot of information. However, it's laid out enough for you to have enough information in order to look this up. Now, you might say, Kay, All right, I found the foreclosure. What are my next steps? Your next step, a simple step, would be to do your due diligence. So if you see a property on any of these lists, whether you see here or that you've searched yourself, you see a property that you want, you like, and you're ready to purchase that property, you're interested in it, the next logical step is to research that property to ensure that you're doing enough due diligence to make sure that the mortgage is due, right? The mortgage was defaulted on, which is why it's in this predicament, but doesn't have any other liens associated with that home. And I talk about that very thoroughly in my course. Please check it out. Link in the description and pinned comments. However, you're doing your due diligence to make sure that it's a good purchase for you. And there are no other encumbrances attached to the property outside of what you see here, okay? And I do some deed search work in the course as well to kind of give you a glimpse of how to do your due diligence, okay? That's the end of my video. I thank you so very much for rocking out with me and staying till this point in the video. If you made it this far in the video, go ahead in the comment section, put foreclosure. It allows me to know you made it this far in the video, and I truly do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Until next time, you guys, you stay blessed. Peace.